Welcome to Wedding Photography Shot List Therapy. Today I'm going to help you tear them up and throw them out. My name is Brenda Bergreen. I'm a professional photographer alongside my husband, Mark. Welcome to our channel, The Bergreens. We share wedding photography advice as well as gear reviews and inspiration on creativity and adventure. If you're new here, you might really enjoy our super secret how to shoot star photos at noon video. Let's get to it. I can't be the only one with the fear of the wedding photography shot list, can I? There has to be a name for it, something like wedge shuttle phobia. Regardless of what led you here, let me persuade you against the anxiety-producing, creativity-reducing thing known as the wedding photography shot list. Now, the shot list came about probably from a point of good intentions. There is reasons to have a wedding photography shot list. We want to know as wedding photographers what's about to happen, what is the general layout of the day, what is important. And in order to know all these things, people made a list, as we often do. We make lists in order to know where we're going with something. The problem with the wedding photography shot list is if that your face is in a list, you're missing all kinds of moments and things that are more important going on around you. A wedding photography shot list creates anxiety because once your client sends you their Pinterest board or their Excel file, or the wedding planner sends you a 20-page document with all of the things that you're supposed to take pictures of, suddenly you're more worried about what you're gonna miss than you are about the moments you're going to capture. In all of our years as wedding photographers, we've found that the better photos come when we're present in the moment. If you think about it, all of the things that are part of a wedding are supposed to be part of the setting. The flowers and the invitations, they all help tell a story. They are not the subject of the story. But when we have a shot list that says, make sure you get a picture of the wedding dress, then suddenly that wedding dress becomes the subject of a photo. Whereas the bride is the subject of the photo and she might have the wedding dress on, or she's getting ready in a room where the wedding dress happens to be. So wedding photography shot lists create this anxiety, and they create this culture of consumerism and materialism around weddings rather than focusing on what's actually important about a wedding. Let's acknowledge what would be important about a shot list. It's important to know what moments to look for and what's important about a wedding day. If you want to make a photography shot list, that's a great idea, but it's not so much for the sake of a shot list, these are the shots I'm going to take, as much as it is a familiarizing yourself with the elements of a wedding. So what should we do? We should gain experience. We should figure out how many weddings we need to go to for us to be completely comfortable and familiar with the elements of a wedding. We should familiarize ourselves with what moments are happening on a wedding day. Who are the characters that are important? Whose stories are we trying to tell? So make a list and then throw it away. Or at the very least, if you can't bring yourself to throw away the shot list, minimize it. Summarize it. Make it as simple as possible so it's just a note card that you reference rather than a list that you bury your face in. Another tip would be to analyze your style and prioritize what's important to you, and then make sure that matches with the couples that you're working with. So if as a photographer you love shooting all of the little details like flowers, then make sure that that's what your couple is going to expect to receive for you. Or if as a photographer you don't ever take a picture of flowers, then make sure your couple knows not to expect that from you. And so a shot list can create this level of expectations. What we're trying to do is reduce expectations so that instead you can be present in what's actually happening and take pictures of what's actually happening. After you've analyzed your style and priorities, make sure you're communicating that to the client. whether it's through your portfolio and showing the types of images that you're going to create, whether it's directly telling them, hey, I do or don't shoot these different things, and also finding out what their priorities are so that you have those on your list, so that you're not just using some standardized list that says that something's important that isn't important to the couple of the specific day. I've found that most couples have a few priorities, a few things that they're most excited about. And so for any given wedding, if I'm going to add anything to my mindset, in addition to trying to be in the moment, it's just gonna be those 2 or 3 items that are important to that couple, rather than the thousands of items that are important to every bride that ever got married all across Pinterest. It's all about freeing yourself up creatively. If you have 1,000 things on a shot list, then that's 1,000 things for you to be trying to think about that takes you out of the moment that you're in. Free yourself up creatively so that you can focus on telling the story of the wedding day. In addition to getting some notes from the couple on what's most important to them, the one time that I do recommend you use a shot list is with family pictures. It takes a lot of bandwidth to remember the mom and the uncle and the cousin and everybody's name at the wedding. And so that's a time where you want to have a list of the family members so you know who's supposed to be in which pictures. In addition, having a shot list for family pictures actually speeds up that portion of the day, because then you can just knock them out one after the other rather than waiting and seeing what happens when people disappear to the bar. So essentially, it's important to gain some experience about a wedding, know the elements of a wedding, know what's going to be happening, so that you're familiar with what moments to be looking for and what things you're trying to take pictures of. In summary, rather than having some 20-page shot list document that increases your anxiety and reduces your creativity, I'm suggesting the following. First, gain experience. Learn about weddings, study weddings, make notes about weddings, go to weddings. I don't know how many weddings it's gonna take you to feel comfortable, but once you're comfortable with a wedding, they're fairly predictable. You don't need a shot list to tell you what to take a picture of. You'll start to notice the moments that are important, notice the people that are important, notice the storyline that you're going to tell. Second, if you can't completely get rid of the shot list, minimize it and prioritize it. Figure out what's actually important to the couple that you're working with. Figure out what's actually important to you as a photographer and your style, so that you can have that on a small list with only a few items to try to remember, so that you can free up the rest of your bandwidth for creativity. Third, do take a few notes from your couple about what's important to them, and do have a shot list for family photos so that you can breeze through that part of the day and make it really efficient and effective. We even put our shot list in the most efficient order based on quantity of people, or if there's grandmas that have trouble walking, or if there's kids that are gonna be hurrying off to go eat something. We put the family photography shot list in an effective order to deal with all of those kinds of things. In the end, you want to focus on what's actually important about the wedding day. Is it all the stuff? Is it the 50 items that you found on Pinterest? Or is the people and the moments and the experience of telling this love story? Once you figure out what your priorities are, that will help you minimize the shot list or even just throw it away. Thank you for being here and participating in the discussion about whether or not we should throw away the shot list. I'd love to hear your feedback below on whether you can let it go or not. In addition, check out some of our other wedding photography advice videos, such as 5 simple steps to starting your wedding photography business, or how to take better outdoor photos. Be sure to let us know how else we can help in the comments below, and subscribe to stay tuned. We'll see you next time.